So with all your permission, I'm starting now. So sir, everyone have come now. 23 are there. One more.
Yes. Everyone has come. One maybe is missing, I guess, because
Rajiv Ranjan sir is there. And who else is missing?
Rajesh, Shubhendu, Jaideep.
Can you figure out, sir? All of you, can you figure out who is not there? Silva ma'am is there. Ritu ma'am is not there. Ritu ma'am is there.
Ritu ma'am is there.
Vijay sir is there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Think Saroj is missing.
Saroj is missing, right, sir?
Yeah.
And Dhruv.
Okay, Saroj is missing. Maybe Rajkumar sir, we can start. He will join, I guess.
We'll start.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll start sharing my screen.
Rajkumar sir, I'm recording here, right?
Yes, sir. You can start
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Fine. So now the topic is on research metrics. So morning we have seen what are the indexing database and citation database. So just to make a small recap of it, we have gone with what are all the indexing database. We have seen Scopus, we have seen ABDC, we have seen Web of Science, and we have gone with UGC care list. We have seen what can be done from that list, and we have seen how you can identify the articles and how you can find out whether your paper is available on Scopus or not. And a few points were discussed on how to identify a good journal, means like why you want to publish in a good journal, and where you want to represent your work. All those discussion we had by morning. See, apart from that, there are certain research metrics. It's a very short topic, but still it has its own weightage. So being said that, we'll proceed further. Right. So now in today's topic, which will be happening for another 30 minutes or so, we'll be looking into like what is impact factor of a journal. Okay, what is impact factor of a journal? Under that we have JCR, SJR, site score, and we have certain metrics. It is mentioned as H index, G index, I10 index, and alt metrics. See, these are all simple terminologies which you are supposed to be aware of in order to proceed in your research work. But it is not like it will not have a 100% contribution or 80% contribution, maybe like 20-25%. That's it, right? So let me proceed further. So now, just a small query to you. What is impact factor? I need some interaction from you.
Impact factor?
What is impact factor?
How good the journal is. So,
how good the journal is.
How penetrating the penetration power of journal?
Sorry, sir. Rajesh, sir. Rajesh, yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir. Penetration power of journal, sir. How
penetration power of journal? Great.
Quality work by the journal.
How effective the journal are cited so that its importance can be gauged.
Okay, journal are cited.
It's reach out.
It's a measure of citation. Yeah.
How many articles are more citations? So you're coming to
how effective the journal is.
The measure of citation, the number of times the citation have been done from this journal.
Right, relevance.
It's a barometer to check the quality of journal.
Quality of journal. Fine. So by keeping all these points in view, I'll represent the same. I'm going to endorse the point, whatever you have said. You have captured it much righter. So impact factor refers to the relative importance of a journal within its field. Means like earlier it was like you take any journal from any discipline and then they'll say like, okay, what is the impact factor? Now the scenario is like, okay, you take one particular domain or one particular field, for example, management. In that area, how much impact it got, right? So how this impact is calculated, we'll see in the later stage. So it is trying to calculate the number of times selected articles are cited within the last few years. It is not just a record where due to network issue, I was not able to log in. Please consider my attendance. Sir, Dhruv sir, no issues. Already your attendance has been taken, right? So
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Day, so he has taken. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
So calculating the number of times selected articles are cited within the last few years. See, this impact factor is not a single term or a single number which will be lasting forever. Once you get it, it will be lasting forever. It is not like that. It will be calculated every year. So why it is calculated every year and how it is calculated? It is the number of articles that has been cited, right? So for the last few years, sometimes there are terms like 5 years impact factor, 1 year impact factor. So what will happen is like they'll try to take the backup data, background data and find out like for the past 5 years, how was the impact factor for the journal? And This impact factor is calculated by certain agencies, and that will be done by SJR, which is done by Scopus, and then we have JAF, Journal Impact Factor, which is calculated by Web of Science, which is Claveret Analytics Group, right? Likewise, they'll try to calculate. Again, this indexing database and citation database plays a major role in calculating the impact factor. So it is one of the tools you can use to compare journals in a subject category. You can take any subject category, you can find out, like, okay, you choose a journal. For example, you just try to download the Excel which is given in ABDC, or you take the list which is given in Scopus. By morning I have shown a small demo. Out of it you download it and then look into the journal. You just copy paste the journal title along with the ISSN number in Google. Go to the journal and find out what is the impact factor. So they'll represent the impact factor. Apart from that, there are certain lists which will also give you the impact factor. Now, how this list is generated is the next topic. This is Journal Citation Report, JCR. This JCR is getting created by Web of Science. Yeah. Any queries? Okay. So this JCR, this particular report I have taken from ResearchGate. I'm just opening it for you. And this particular list link is given in your Swadhyay.
Dr.
I've given this
Rajkumar?
link. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, if you can go to the slide once.
Slide, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. The previous slide.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I missed that one. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just opening the link which I got it from ResearchGate. Hope you are aware of ResearchGate by now and you can access ResearchGate. And it will take some time. Ravi sir, you asked the question as what I mean by last few years, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. See, the calculation will be done for 5 years. The JCR, they are doing, they have a matrix itself. They are going for 5 years impact factor. It means they'll take the recent year publication. Not only that, they'll try to take the 5 years publication and find out what is the number of citation happened, and they'll try to create a score. All right. So most of the journals or most of the indexing will happen for 1 year. They'll take the 1 year impact factor. For example, 2019 there will be one impact factor, and 2020 there will be one impact factor. How it is calculated, I'll show you a list. See, here I found this particular citation report, JCR report from ResearchGate. Faiz Mohammed, he has uploaded the JCR report, and this particular report, JCR report, will tell you about what is the journal impact factor. Now, my question is like, what can be the highest value for an impact factor? What are all the impact factor values you have seen for a journal? Any guess?
The reliability is slightly above 1 point something.
Count. 1, 2, 3. Right. Sometimes you will find 7.
7.
8,
okay.
And it will increase also. It is not as per my own opinion. You can see as per this journal citation report, you can find out the journal impact factor for CAA Cancer Journal for Clinicals. You can look at the impact factor, 292.278. This list was given by Claveret Analytics, right? They have given us the topmost impact factor for that. It means the journal articles which are getting published in this particular journal, that is Cancer Journal for Clinicians, it is having a lot of impact, and in that particular domain, it is having much more weightage. So followed by the other set of journals with impact factor. And as I said earlier, this will have a list of combined altogether all the journal articles, but the calculation will be differing. And they divide into quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, just like our ABDC. If you recollect, by morning I was mentioning about A star, B, C category. Likewise, they'll be giving a list. And this list is available in your Swadhyay under database and metrics. I've given a title as database and metrics. You go through it, there you will find the list. Now, what I'll do with the list? The next question is like, what I'll do with the list? See, this list, there are so much of cross-verifying platforms. One is your ABDC list, one is your Scopus, one is your SCI or SSIC list, what I showed by morning. Apart from that, this journal citation report will also tell you what are all the quality journals. By that way, whatever journals you are choosing for your publication, when you write an article, whenever you are choosing a journal for your publication, Dhruv sir's mic is having some trouble. Sir, I'm muting you, sir. Dhruv sir, some issue with the mic. Whenever you want, you can unmute. All right, fine. So this will help you to find out which is what is the journal that I have chosen and what is the impact factor of it. Now, what is the big deal for me?
Sir, what is the range like? Like, what can be the highest scores for impact?
That's a good question, ma'am. That's what highest range was like. They have given as per JCR is like 292, right? And it doesn't mean that we should follow only whichever is having the highest. I'll tell you one more journal.
Yeah, but we see a lot of 27, 29, 63 also. So that's the reason we're asking this question.
74 is also there.
I'll show you one journal, Human Performance. I'm not sure what is the impact factor as of now, but I'll just show you a demo. Human Performance. It's from Tanfolin, Taylor and Francis. This journal is from Tanfolin, Taylor and Francis group. Sir, you look into the publishers. Suvandev sir, you look into the publishers. Most of the publishers will be from UK, US, something like that. And in those lists, what we are talking about, ABDC or Scopus. Scopus you have mixed up, but ABDC list and other stuff now started standard category. Most of the publishers are in from that locations only, US, UK, something like that. And hardly you will find Indian journals which are into that list. So maybe that may be one of the reasons why we are not having much of journals in those lists, which we need to explore also, how much are from India, and we need to study that. I have not tried as of now. Maybe you have given a lead for me. I'll work out on that. All right, sir. Right. So the journal name is Human Performance. Okay. Look at the impact factor. Can you figure out the impact factor?
Yes, 1172.
1.172, and this journal is the A category journal in ABDC. This is the A category journal which is available in ABDC list. And I have forwarded a paper for this also earlier. When I was a scholar, I was so enthusiastic. I was thinking, like, okay, let me make some attempt for some topmost journals. With whatever knowledge I have, I tried. And there I got the response was something different. I was also thinking in the same way. Believe me, like when I was forwarding an article to this journal, the impact factor was 0.62, I believe, 0.62 or something. And I thought like, okay, it will get clicked and then it will get published. But though the value is very less, 1.172, still it is very, very tough to reach the journal. Reason is the rigor what they follow is something different. Number one. Why they got a lesser impact factor? Because of the model which they may be following. They are very strong in the rigor, but the subscription for the access of the journals may be very high, or people who have cited of that articles which is published in that visibility. Ultimately the visibility. If I do some work, if I make it visible, then probably people will read and try to get attracted, and then they'll try to use my paper or look at my paper. But when the visibility is very less, then probably there may be chances that my paper will not be spoken out. And how to increase the visibility is what the platform like ResearchGate, your Google Scholar will help you out. Where without breaching the copyright issues, you can paste the abstract. When it comes to pasting of abstract, there is no issues at all, because abstract will be open in any journal for that matter. If you have an article, every author will try to paste the abstract as such. Means like every journal will permit and they will showcase the abstract. When it comes to the full paper, it will not be visible. So that visibility creation is also one more stuff which has to be taken care. And based on the visibility only, our citation score will be high. So that will come back slowly. So by that way, answering to the question,
Rajkumar sir, sorry, this is Pradeep Duwari here.
Yes, sir.
A quick question: if we paste our abstract in these sites, for rightly so, but is there do we generally get some contradiction saying that okay, I'm already working on it, or some people contacting you on that? Is it like that?
That is no issue, sir, because already you worked on a paper and then you published the paper. Na? You're talking about the published paper or working paper?
Working paper, no. As I understood that if we are working on something, we can copy the abstract in that, right?
No. Working paper means any kind of published article, you try to put it in certain forum. Before publishing, don't try to give your idea completely outside. Sometimes what will happen is that will be a lead for others, and whoever wins the race and whoever publish first, it will be their paper. So your idea should be conceptualized. You make your paper, you complete it, you send it to journal, get it reviewed, then make all actions, then finally after publishing only the abstract can be added. How it can be added? A simple example is your ResearchGate. I'll just highlight more on ResearchGate. Reason being, like, this will be highly helpful for your current scenario. Means, like, since you are in the coursework 1 stage, I'll highlight on this. It will be highly helpful. How you can add is, like, I'm going to my profile. I have created my ID. I believe two more have joined today from ICFA University. And then, like, you just go here, and then there is an option as to add an article to make a contribution. Can you see add new research? Here I'll be adding only my published details, published article. If I click this, it will ask me so much of options, like whether it is a research or preprint or conference whatsoever. Then if I give published research, then it will ask the detail. What is the title? Who is the author? Who is the co-author? And then what is the abstract? Are you interested in putting the full paper? If you're not interested, you leave that blank. If you have the abstract, yes, you can definitely go ahead, which will come in your research contribution. If you click on the areas research, this is just a simple page which you can explore by clicking each button. If you click on that, now you can see, like, I had one paper on micromanagement and employee adversary. Here I have given the full paper. The reason being, this journal is open source journal, open access journal. So by that way, I have given the full paper. I have added who are all the authors in that. So likewise, you can give the details and make the paper available also. And you will get a notification. Every time you will get a notification, like every week, you'll get a notification like how many people are read. Can you see the screen? With 183 new reads, your contribution were the most read contribution from your institution. It was updated on Sunday. After Sunday, it's the cutoff date. It will show you, like, how many people have viewed the content. It can be an article.
Congratulations, Rajkumar sir. Yeah, it is
really wow.
Yeah.
No, this is a very smaller level. Like, many people will be having higher score, but still, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, people are reading, and I show you a graph also. Though I have not done a lot of extensive work, there is an RG score which is calculated. There is a H index, and apart from that, you will have a stat. The stat will talk about how much people are viewing and reading the articles on a weekly basis. For example, just I'll show you a small example. You can see here, this is weekly. If you look into it, the graph is down. Now in this week it is 54. Last week it was 183. And if you go further, somewhere it was like 278 people.
So maybe you publish something new at that time. So every week, if you're not publishing something new, it's coming down, like just like social media statistics.
That is one. Apart from that, if your work is concrete enough and if you have a very good publication, forget about the journal for timing. If you have a really good work, if you have a really a quality question which many people are reading and they are interested, that also will add for your count. And how many people have read the full questions, that also it is there. Though I don't claim that I have so much of citation, but still I'll also like agree your word that yes, my contributions are read to a larger extent. Let it be questions or answers what I'm giving relating to statistics or whatsoever. I mean,
I have a question, Dr. Kumar. So, like, suppose under your paper article, there are 3 authors. So, and if those all 3 authors are in the ResearchGate, they can put this article in their.
It will ask an option, ma'am. For example, you and I are writing a paper, and in that case, I'll be like adding the paper, and I'll say who is the co-author. I'll type the name. If you are in ResearchGate, it will show your name. That's why you are supposed to have your photograph also. If I'm able to figure out your name as well as photograph, I'll just say that you are the co-author. I'll invite you as co-author, and you will get added up. By that way, that paper will be tagged for both the authors and co-authors.
Okay, so it depends that whether it's a lead author or a co-author who really puts it in their.
There is no concept like that, ma'am.
Okay.
It can be the first author or second author. Still, you can add the paper. Only author of the paper.
Okay. Right? Okay. Fine. Yeah.
So getting back to our topic.
Dr. Kumar, I have a small doubt.
Yes, sir.
You said that the impact factor is basically on depends on the number of citations probably that you receive, which in that turn it indicates how popular this research work is, or how many people have actually viewed that thing. The second, on the second note, you mentioned about Human Performance Journal, which is having a low impact factor, might be around 1.172.
Yeah.
But what you said is that particular, that particular journal is very, very, a kind of maintains a strict policy in terms of accepting papers and everything, whatever that they are doing. So might be the impact factor is low, but the journal is a very, very good journal. That's what you were saying.
Exactly.
So doesn't it contradict the thing that it is like citation is low, but the journal is good? But where the citations might be very high, but originally the journal might be not of such quality?
It will be there, sir. Both the cases will occur. Thing is, if I don't have they are having an option as publish open access in the journal, na? This publish, if I make an article, my own article in this open access, where I'm supposed to make some payment, if I do that, then probably in this site, under current issue or whatsoever, my journal will be appearing open. By that way, my topic will have so much of readers and they'll try to cite my work. And this citation, as you said, rightly said, in 1 year, for example, in 1 year, they are having some 50 articles or some 25 to 30 articles, let me make 15, 30 articles. In these 30 articles has been cited by how many people? That is also one index which they call it as immediacy index. They use the term as immediacy index. Apart from that, what is the citation happened for the past 3 years? So they have a formula. I'll come to the formula. Based on that, they'll try to show the impact factor, whether it is high or low. Now, there are two things. One, individual article citation is something different, whereas overall journal impact factor is something different. Individual article citation, yes, it will contribute to the journal, but individual citation will add more value for a person. As an author, if I have more citation, I'll take the credit of it. Because of more citation for that paper in that particular year, it also will have an impact on the impact factor of the journal. That is why the journal editors will be trying to choose a topic which is novel and which is something which will have a lot of contribution to the research community, so that the quality of the journal is also holded. At the same time, there will be much of references also. Am I getting
okay? Yeah. I got it.
Right. Fine. So now this is about impact factor. Now let us get back. So now this journal citation report will give you an idea as each year. It is kind of an award. Each year, what was the impact factor of the journal, and then how they have performed well in the year 2020, something like that. So this is calculated by Cleverett Analytics. The journals are classified as quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and quartile 4. The alternative term as in ABDC, it is A star, B, and then C. There are certain categories now, A, B, C categories. Likewise, they will put it in quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, quartile 4. Will not involve much in, will not put our mind now in finding out like how they make this calculation, because now this is not the ideal time where majority of the editors, they themselves are confused to a larger extent. But time being, we have a clarity that this will classify the journals into different category 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this will give a fair idea if you are looking forward for a very good journal. If you want to very good journal or want to search for a journal, where they fall, you can find out the location of the journal. Right. Now, this is what the calculations are. Divan sir, you were asking about that calculation. So how it will work? The basic calculation for both journal metrics, see, Simago journal rank, SJR, and source normalized impact factor, SNIP. So these two are the calculations which is mentioned by SJR. We have seen in the previous slide, we have seen about, just a minute. In the previous slide, we have seen about JCR. This SJR and SNIP is a metric of Scopus. As like JCR, which is done by Cleverett Analytics, this SJR is a metric, or SJR is the way by which Scopus will try to highlight it, right? So Scopus will try to highlight the stuff. Fine. Now, how they'll calculate, for example, I want to calculate the impact factor for 2015. This is the calculation by SJR. Just to give you a fair idea for you, I want to calculate the journal impact for 2015. If I want to calculate for 2015, they'll try to find out like how much number of articles has been published by, just a minute. Articles has been published in 2015 divided by the citation that has happened during 2012, 13 and 14. So they take 3 years 3-year citation as well as the number of articles published, and they'll try to make a calculation. See, time being, you just understand there are some calculation which is made on 3 years. Similar way, if you ask me for Cleverlet Analytics, which is SJR, not SJR.
It's on a moving average method.
Sir, I'm not sure about it. Maybe it may be, sir. Like in case of Cleverlet Analytics, where they are going for JSIR report, they'll take it for 2 years. Here in SJR, they'll take it for 3 years. It depends on the how they are evaluating, right? So now you just keep this in mind, how the SJR score, how the Scopus is giving the SJR impact factor score for a journal and the other one, right? Now,
Rajkumar sir, they take the number of articles published in 2012, 13, 14 or number of citations in 2000.
Citation. The denominator will be citation. The numerator will be the number of articles.
Okay, 2015 number of articles divided by the citations in the previous 2 years.
Yeah, you can verify also. You can please verify this as well. This is my understanding. If something is wrong, you let me know, right, sir? This is my understanding. Just check it up, because I'm not going deeper into the analysis part. But you please verify, right? As per my understanding, it will be number of articles in 1 year divided by the last 3 years citation, right? Okay. So now this is also one more important area. We have Google Scholar. Your Google Scholar. See, now we have seen like I've given an introduction about what is JSIR, SJR, and site score. They have given a site score now. That formula is what the site score. You look into it. Finally, they'll be calculating a score, that is your site score, which is also called as an impact factor. See, these are all calculations, but ultimately the takeaway is we'll not worry about any kind of formulas or any kind of other reports. We'll see what is the impact factor as per Scopus. We'll see what is the impact factor as per Cleverlet Analytics. Only that much we'll be looking into it, because our ultimate purpose is, as a researcher or a reader, we are interested in knowing about like what is the journal category or what is the impact factor of the journal. If I publish an article in that particular journal, will my article will have a lot of visibility or not? That is what we are trying to understand here. Also, if I took a journal, what is the contribution of the journal? Will I be getting some quality input or not? So only these are the objectives as far as an individual participant is concerned, individual researcher is concerned. We will not go further behind that, right? So now,
Sir, can I say one thing?
Yes, sir. Please.
So there is a confusion in my mind. As far as I know, this calculation of impact factor of a particular year, suppose we are finding in 2020, say, or 2020. So you said correctly that it may be 3 years, or some institutions they take it 2 years. So as far as I know, I may be also wrong. That it is the numerator and denominator is number of citations in 2 previous years divided by the number of citable items in those 2 previous years or 3 previous years, whatever it may be.
Yeah, we'll check it up, sir, because even I'm not sure, so that I'm not giving a confirmation on that. We'll check it up. Let me also explore.
So in this case, if you are finding in the year 2015, the figures of 2012, 13, 14 or 2013, 14 will be taken for calculation of the year 2015.
Fine. I'll just give a lead, sir. You just look into the elsewhere SJR calculation page. They'll be having
Elsevier.
Okay. You just check it up in elsewhere, Scopus and Cleverlet Analytics also. In all these 3 things, they'll be giving some ideas, fair idea, like how they are calculating.
Okay, sir.
You just go through it. Okay. Right now, the next part is Google Scholar. This you might have explored to a larger extent. And one good thing about Google Scholar is it will give you your H index as well as I10 index. There is one metric called as I10 index. This I10 index is a calculation which is made by Google Scholar. So I've taken one of my colleagues' profile, Dr. Pallavi Kumari, who was also handling your few sessions. I've taken her page, right? With her permission, I've taken this page. Now you can see what is the number of articles that has been published and what is the number of citation as per Google Scholar. So we are not talking about the Scopus citation. That is something different. Once you say Scopus citation, it will take only the articles which are published in Scopus, which are under listing of Scopus. Means certain journals may not be in Scopus, that it will not count. Whereas Google Scholar, here you can add your publications. You can add by yourself, irrespective of whether it is from Scopus or whether it is from AVDC or it's a normal journal. You can add all your articles. Ultimately, it will tell you like how many people have cited your work, right? It will show you the complete citation. The background is Google, simple to say. It will try to capture whichever articles are available and those people are quoted, right? Which is clearly visible. That will take it as a citation. If you look into this, there is an H index calculated. This H index shows the value of the researcher. For example, if I take my colleague, her H index is 3. They also have some background calculation. So I'm not going detail into the background calculation, and I'll look into like, okay, what is the H index? H index is 3 and the total citation is 56. And you can find the list of articles that has been published. So which are all the articles that has been cited? In which year it got cited? 2020, she got 6. And then 2019, she got 7 citation. 2018, she got 6 citation, and 2017, 13 citation. It will give you an year-wise timeline, which will show in each year how many publications got added. And that will have an impact on the H index. And at times what will happen is the researcher, if they have a very good H index, they'll say not very good. I can say like if you are getting some 5 or 6 or whatsoever, you say my H index score is this much as per Google Scholar. So that also add values. Apart from this, in your ResearchGate also, you have an H index which will be created, right? So how it is created, you can find it in the stat option. So first of all, you have to add your articles, whatever you have contributed, add the abstract. If there is a copyright issue, just add the abstract and leave it as such. If someone wants, let them go back to the site and then look into the paper. If they want, let them purchase them. But I am trying to highlight what is my what is the contribution to the research community. I'll try to show that. And there is one option as score. If you look into it, here there is one H index which is calculated, right? The ResearchGate also will try to give a H index, and it is creating an individual score as RG score. Sometimes if your score is high, you can highlight this also in the profile, like yes, my RG score is this much.
Sir, I have a question. Yes, so publishing the number of articles per year, that will directly influence the H index. So I mean, is it like the people, if somebody publishes more papers, more articles per year, will they have a higher H index? Is it like that?
There is a question of quality and quantity, ma'am. In your query, I can understand that there is a query on quality and quantity. It talks about quality. That's what I said by morning. You can publish 2 articles in a well-reputed journal, and that has a lot of value and a lot of citation. Based on your citation, your H index will go up. Right, ma'am?
But I still did not understand. Can you please repeat once again?
On the number of citation happening for your work. How much citation it's happened. Citation means how many people have cited your work, right? It works on the citation. It will not much dependent on the number of articles you are publishing. It won't depend much on the quantity, how many number of publications. Sometimes you can find like there will be like some 30-40 publications by one person. But finally, how much citation that has happened, that matters a lot. Some people will have only publication, but they have some 120, 130 citations. That citation will have an impact on your H index. It means how much people are referring your work, and this H index will be created based on the citation, not on the number of articles. Is it clear, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you repeat the I index?
Sir, I10 index, I'm just starting now. This I10 index is the number of publication with at least 10 citation. It means it is trying to calculate like for one publication that is changing purchase behavior of Indian customers. This was published during 2012. Forget about the year. Assume that it got published in 2018. but still it crossed 10 citation. It means there are 10 people who have referred the work and highlighted that work. Then in that case, this I-10 index will be 1. So similar way, how much she has crossed 10, there are 2 articles which has crossed the basic limit of 10, because of which it is showing like 2 is the I-10 index. This is also one more metric which is used in only in Google Scholar. It will not be available in the other areas. You can find only in the Google Scholar, right? This Google Scholar metrics is I-10 index. Am I clear, sir?
So 11 will be 1, 22 will be 2, 29 will also be 2, 34 will be 3, like this for I-10.
No, sir. No, sir. For I-10, you
Yes.
look into the first paper, the purchase behavior of Indian customers. Let it be 50 also, but still it is 1. You look at the second paper, green HRM issues and challenges. It is again 20. It crossed 10. So that's why the count is 2.
Yeah, matlab that means ki how many times one research has been cited. I mean,
I'll put in a single word. The cutoff is 10. If one of the contribution is crossing 10, let it be 100 also. It is considered as one.
One only. Okay.
Okay.
Just a minute. Just a minute, sir. Please excuse me. Okay. So by that way, there are 2 articles which cross the cutoff of 10. By that way, it will show like I-10 index is 2. So again, this is a metric for an individual.
Matlab so simple ki how many articles has been cited. So that will be counted as 1.
How many articles has been cited and crossed the value of 10?
10. Yeah. Okay, sir.
Right.
Rajkumar sir.
Yes, sir.
So Rajkumar sir, so is there like what is the significance of this index immediately linked to the thesis, like what we are going to present?
No. Okay, right. Now this particular indices are talking about the quality of the researcher. As a researcher, what is the contribution and what is my value kind? Simple to say. What is my impact factor as an individual?
Okay.
I'll put in a layman language, it's my impact factor. How much quality work I have done, what is the contribution from my end, that can be highlighted.
Is it somewhat, it is also necessary that during writing your thesis, you need to quote this many number of people who have, like the authors who have this much of citation score or like, you know?
Yes, once you get a citation, assume that you'll be writing a paper now, which is exactly related to your topic of interest, and that topic will be related to your PhD. Because we will not deviate much as of now, because since you're a scholar now, you'll try to work on the area which you have confined and work on the topic which you will be doing a PhD. And that work, if it is getting cited, you're also getting acknowledged that, yes, my work is a quality work, people are referring my work. It means the concept what I have, you will not put the complete concept and say, right, my PhD thesis content is this only, I'm publishing. It cannot be done, but you'll try to use certain ideas. You will try to test the concept, because you will be sending it to reviewers. The reviewers will give you a comment like, yes, this is really a gap. And because of it, accepting. That's an acknowledgement for you.
Yes.
And during your Viva and something like that, you'll be highlighting, see, I have published one paper in this journal, which is having an impact factor of so much. And that paper is indexed in Scopus or Web of Science or Clarivate Analytics or any other indices, right? This is indexed in so-and-so. And this paper has got a citation of 4, 5, let it be 1 also. You say that, yes, this paper has been cited. That shows that your work is recognized by the research community. And the work what you have done for your thesis is quality. That is supporting you to a larger extent. Rajesh, you have some question?
No, sir.
Right, great. So now, what is altmetrics? Altmetrics, without entering into the concept, we have discussed so much. You look into the explanation for that, it is talking about article level metrics. So what is that article level metrics? This is also for individuals.
Sir, I think you have left out G index.
G index was missed out, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, the G index was missed out. G index.
Then I'll do one thing, sir. I didn't add a content on that. Maybe I'll just check it up and then add it up before the completion of. Okay, G index got missed out. Right. I'll just check it up before the completion of Sudipto, sir, and give you an idea, sir. Because I've also not gone through it. Let me go through it and then get back to you. All right. So now after this session, you'll be having a session from Sudipto, sir. That time I'll work out and give you a hint on that. Right. So yeah, G index is there. I just missed out. Fine, I'll get back to that, sir, because I've not worked on G index. Okay. So now, what is altmetrics? It's about article level metrics, which shows us how the scholarly work is read, discussed, saved, and recommended as well as cited. And then it is talking about the timely data showing evidence of impact in days instead of years. Example is a ResearchGate. As I said, without discussing about altmetrics, it is showing like, okay, if an individual article is there, if there is an article, for example, I'm just showing mine as an example. If you look into this article, I'm just clicking on this article. This is also one of the examples for altmetrics. Apart from that, you might check what are all the ways by which you can check on the article, how much it has been read or used or shared. The better platform is ResearchGate. You can find out like how many people have read this. See, this research interest is 2.1. As of now, there is no citation, but there were 66 people, 66 researchers who have 66 researchers who have started using this, who read this particular article, right? You can go through the details also, and sometimes it will give you a detail like who has read. If you look into it, the researchers who read, so someone from different countries. Hello. Zubair sir, any queries? Okay. Right. If you look into it, you can find this is one person called Patrick Sanagan, and this person has been cited by me, and his contribution was the lead role in that particular paper, and he also read the paper. Now I'm getting an acknowledgement that yes, who I'm cited in my work, who has been doing some pioneer work relating to micromanagement, he himself has gone through the paper, but he has not given any comment. But I got an acknowledgement that yes, the area what I'm working, the interested people are looking into it. And number one. Number two, these interested people will definitely can help me out in my research work when I have discuss some queries with them. If I follow them, I may get some inputs also. So this platform will help you to look into the contribution what you made. Let it be in the form of timely data. Timely data, I've shown you like weekly, what is happening with your contribution. How many people? Sir, I'm just muting you, please. Then timely data, weekly wise data, showing evidence of impact in days instead of years. It will show you like every week what has happened. Somewhere there may be some tools which will tell you in day wise also, but ResearchGate is one thing which will tell you week wise, right? So this is about altmetrics. Now we can have some queries, and after which Sudipto sir will continue. If you have any doubts which I can contribute, I can do it, or else we can go ahead with Sudipto sir's session, and finally he'll be like we'll deal with some questions, any kind of queries, whatever you have. So how we'll proceed further? You can guide me, like we can go
I have a question here. Sometimes I have seen that there are read articles is almost like 300, 400, 500, but not cited.
It will happen many times, ma'am. There may be some thousands also reads, but it will not be cited. But it will have a citation in the later stage. What is happening is like we have created some interest, and that is read by people, and probably they might be working. If it is really interesting and contributing for them, then probably they'll cite. If they feel like, yeah, okay, there is not much of contribution, then probably they'll leave. Either thing can happen, or work might have been happened, which will take some time. But we have stated our point like this particular work, related work, I have already published, which happened in so and so year. And if someone is crossing our level, means like someone is doing the paper on the same thing, they may cite or may not cite. If they want to cite, we should make the visibility by putting in certain abstract in the platforms, or else they themselves will quote, right? So if our work is highly contributing, then probably we'll get some citation. If you get some lot of reads, that itself is also one type of acknowledgement. Don't worry, in the forthcoming papers, you can increase the citation, or sometimes after a certain period of time, there will be citation. Okay, ma'am?
Rajkumar sir, this full read, what is showing, is it how is it captured? Is it that you open that file, that article, and it automatically captures as a full read, or you download it, that it captures as a full read?
these things are done by ResearchGate itself. How much full read, these details will be given in ResearchGate itself. Only thing is you are supposed to go to your profile. You just create your ID and then you go to your profile. There it will show you like what is the contribution. It will show all those stuff: overview, research, experience, stats, scores. If I click on stats now, it will show me the stats for that week. If I want to go for a specific article, you go to research, whichever you have uploaded. Means like you are supposed to say, "Nah, this paper is mine." That you are supposed to add it here, and after adding, you can go and find out like how many people have read fully or they have not read fully. That details you will get. Right?
Okay.
You have to make a little bit of exploration.
Okay.
But be a member of ResearchGate. It will highly help you out. Right. Okay. Then in that case, I'll leave the platform to Sudipto sir. Before that, let me have a small quiz with you. This is in TestMoss. I hope everyone is comfortable with TestMoss. I'll just paste it here. One second. You can open the TestMoss link. What I will be pasting now in your just a